So we are really running short of time. I am sorry about that, but it's very interesting to hear from everyone. So I think just in terms of in sake of having an exchange, I'm gonna now move directly to the discussion, and we have also Bidi Salec, who is going to make an intervention here from Western Sahara. So with that, I think we will move directly to very brief intervention, Bidi, and then we want to hear from the questions from the audience. So Bidi, you have the floor. Thank
you. Thank you very much, Anki, and the other participants. It was quite fruitful listening to the different interventions. Just before answering your question, I'd like to step back once, and it's a pity that Asif has left the meeting because he has raised he was a bit astonished for the one who said no, that the ceasefire is not an opportunity for peace, and it was a message from Western Sahara, which has been on a ceasefire since nearly 30 years. You know, probably one of the conflicts that is present today in this platform is the conflict in Western Sahara, which is totally different. It's, according to the UN Fourth Committee, it's a decolonization issue. And there was a ceasefire supervised by the UN on 1991, and it is up till today ongoing, and there is no lasting solution, although the issue is quite clear. So this is just on the marge. So please, my message is that we can't be optimistic or too optimistic when it comes to thinking that ceasefires would lead to political solutions. Western Sahara is a good example. 30 years of ceasefire and the conflict is still going on. Coming back to and I'll be very brief, to the negative impact of the COVID-19 on the situation in Western Sahara. And I'm a humanitarian. We're working in the field of mine action. So we are trying to mitigate the risk of that is imposed by mines and other explosive remnants of war on the local population and on the UN personnel themselves. Western Sahara is one of the highly contaminated areas. One single negative impact is that our operations has been suspended. Clearance operations of mines have been suspended since the 19th of March. So you could have imagined how many mines, how many minefields and cluster munition areas we've been cleared if there is no COVID-19. Another is that those people who are living where I'm talking from now, in the Sahrawi refugee camps in Tindouf in southern Algeria, they are now suffering twice. They've been suffering since the last 30 years, not 30 years, I mean 45 years, because these camps have been established since 1975. And now with this disease, and you can imagine refugee camps where the sanitary system is very primitive, very humble. Luckily, we didn't register any COVID-19 case so far because of, or thanks to the measurements taken by the Sahrawi government in collaboration with the Algerian government. But if it happened, then we found ourselves in really big trouble when it comes to human lives. We have organizations supporting and assisting victims of mines, and their work is stopped now because of these measurements. This is another negative impact. When we go to the strategic level, our programs are running thanks to international funding and international donation. Now with this international global context, probably the priorities of funding would be totally changing. This is a negative impact you might think of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bidi, for that. It's very good to not forget that there is the chain reaction in the sense that you have impact also on other humanitarian operations in the field.